This is ILTV on the hour. We're bringing the biggest stories and headlines from Israel and the Middle East in just 5 minutes. I'm Josh Bedrosian, and today is day 668 of the war in Gaza. Let's get into all the top headlines at this hour. We begin our updates with the renewed request for the Red Cross to visit the hostages in captivity in the Gaza Strip. The Red Cross, who already operates a field hospital inside of Rafah, has not been allowed to access any of the hostages in captivity since they were kidnapped on October 7th. After the horrific videos of hostages Evyatar David and Robra Slavsky were released by Hamas and PIJ, showing the cruelty, inhumanity, and emaciated conditions the men are held in, Prime Minister Netanyahu spoke with the head of the Red Cross delegation in the region and requested their involvement in providing food and immediate medical care for the hostages in Gaza. According to a statement released by his office. The statement says, quote, Hamas's lie of starvation resonates around the world, while the systemic starvation is against our hostages who suffer brutal physical and mental abuse. Here's what else he had to say in this recorded video address that he released overnight.
אזרחי ישראל היקרים, כמוכם גם אני הזדעזעתי אתמול. ראיתי את סרטוני הזוועה של הבנים היקרים שלנו, רום ואביתר. צלצלתי למשפחות, חיבקתי אותם בשמי ובשם רעייתי, גם בשמכם. אתה רואה אותם, הם מקים בצינוק, אבל המפלצות של החמאס שעוטפות אותם, להם יש זרועות אבות בשר, יש להם כל מה שהם צריכים כדי לאכול. הם מריבים אותם כמו שהנאצים הריבו את היהודים.
Prime Minister there concluding his remarks, and following his remarks there, his demand for the hostages to get medical support and assessed by the Red Cross, the ICRC released a statement on X saying they are, quote, appalled by the harrowing videos published over the last few days of Israeli hostages, and continuing to say there is stark evidence of life-threatening conditions in which the hostages are being held in, and reiterated that hostage-taking is prohibited according to international humanitarian law. The organization says they are reiterating their call to be granted access to the hostages to assess their condition, give them medical support, and facilitate contact with their families. And President Trump says there is no genocide happening inside of the Gaza Strip. He said this when asked a few hours ago if there was evidence of one by a reporter near an airport on the tarmac. Instead, the president pivoted his response, focusing on the October 7th attack by Hamas that provoked this war. He also said that he wants people in Gaza to be fed and that the United States is contributing significantly to help civilians get this crucial aid that they so desperately need in certain parts of the Gaza Strip. He also mentioned how the United States is spending a lot of money to ensure that this aid is getting into the hands of civilians. And meanwhile, U.S. Ambassador Mike Huckabee took to X to say, quote, the real story of starvation in Gaza is of hostages being held by Hamas. He also released a weekly overview using official data from COGAT and GHF, the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, which is an Israeli and American-backed distribution for Palestinians inside of the Gaza enclave. They say, quote, there is no policy of starvation in Gaza, except Hamas's deliberate starvation of the hostages. The document he released also says the UN-led aid distribution has stagnated after an initial increase, and the vast majority of it is diverted by Hamas. We know that recently videos have surfaced of Hamas stealing aid, as you can see on your screen right now. They sit on top of those large convoys with all this different type of humanitarian aid inside. This is the most recent video that was released. You're seeing on your screen right now of Hamas stealing aid. This was likely in the city of Deir al-Balah. That's a wrap here on ILTV on the hour. Thanks so much for joining us, and stay with us for more updates as they come in.